name of the game is not to be shaming people. It's to be encouraging people. It's to be making people feel like things are within reach. All right, day 2, going to the office, downtown Chicago. It's not as crazy as yesterday as far as the amount of people, but I'm getting out here now. Now I've got my stand, or my little rod. We're gonna vlog. We're gonna talk. So, I started YouTube a few days ago, and there's a lot of discomfort. A lot of discomfort around starting a channel and starting something new, just in general, right? And some of the biggest things I've learned are that it is exposing my anxiety a lot more than I thought it would, and not in a way that makes me feel shut down, but in a way that, yeah, it does feel discouraging, but sometimes. But I'm like checking to see, like, are my views moving? Are people liking it? Are people commenting on it? And I think it's all natural things that we do, because we want to feel like what we're creating is being watched, is being not only watched, but like accepted. I haven't gotten to this point yet, but I wonder if creators are like, man, I'd rather somebody just comment something bad so I know that they are actually on there. So I'm walking to work right now and hoping that my fears and everything that I'm experiencing, even walking past people right now, oh my god, it feels so fucking scary. Like when people are like right next to me, right behind me, I've got my extension rod a little high. People know that I'm talking to myself, and it's fucking scary. Forgive my language, but it is. And I don't think any of us, maybe there's some people, I know Chris meets Chris. If you're watching this, bro, you do it. I know Luis does it. Clickbait and chill, you know. I feel like I'm excited because the community that I'm building on here. I'm trying to cross the street. Man, dude, honestly, Chicago, like, it's kind of misty right now too, but that's what this camera is made for. Chicago is just different, bro. Look at this building. Whew. Oh gosh, it's like it's got its own type of charm to it. Back to what I was saying, is that right now, holding this thing up right like this, fucking scary. Not humiliating, because I think you almost gotta like brace yourself when people are walking by, and if they like, you're like almost in your head like wondering what they're thinking about what you're saying as well. So I'm just kind of not trying to make eye contact, but present myself as more confident. So the biggest things I learned are, this definitely exposes my anxiety. I also am learning how to package a thumbnail and titles. I don't think I'm good at that yet. I'm still wondering, like, do I make it look real YouTube-y, or do I make it look more like me? And man, you know, I work in advertising, and it's almost like what a copywriter and art director team, I don't know if you heard me, but it's almost like what a creative team would do, copywriter and art director. And they would package up the idea, right? And I'm a strategist, so I do all the upfront stuff. I write strategy, I do the research, I understand human behavior, I understand what the consumer wants, and I write briefs and I give it to the creative team, and then they do their thing. So I think trying to do that job is giving me really a better understanding of what they do, how they do it, the thought process that goes behind it. It's very hard. So any creative people out there that are copywriters, art directors, I absolutely 100% respect your craft and what you do, because it's not easy. Like, you could go into all the AI apps, you can go and copy and lift off of other people's, but you know innately when you're packaging something, if it doesn't feel like you, then you almost ask yourself, how am I presenting myself to the world? Is this truly me? I can be on here speaking authentically, but how I package it, is that authentically me? And I don't think that gives us a bad grade. I don't think it means like, oh, they're fake. I think it just means like that part of doing this whole thing isn't quite developed yet, right? It's like a muscle. You got to develop it. So, anxiety exposed, package frustration, and then I got to give you three. I think this is not the best third one, but truly, like, don't overthink. I am a classic. I have to think for my job. I have to think things through. I am the classic guy that gets to the restaurant or the place and is always thinking how the waiter feels or how this person might feel if I interact with them a certain way, or I'm the guy that sits down and I'm like, I gotta see the exit. So don't overthink this, man. I'm doing this. Nobody's said anything to me. Nobody's throwing any tomatoes at me right now. And it feels good. It feels freeing. Because you know what? It's probably like making them question themselves. And I don't mean to do this in any negative way, but it's probably got people thinking like, man, if he's doing it, I want to do it. You know how many people out here want to be doing something other than what they're currently doing? Probably all of us, in some form or fashion. And my thing, man, this is just gorgeous. Hold on. Like, gosh. Like, I've tried to avoid coming down here and, working from the office as much as possible. But, you just can't beat it. So, a lot of us want to do other things than what we're currently doing, right? And we want to create. A lot of us want to create. If you're watching this right now, you probably want to create. You probably are inspired artistically. You probably are inspired in some way that makes you want to move the world. And I got to get this shot right now. I'd be crazy if I didn't get this shot. So hold on. Oh my God. And we're all inspired to create, and we want to be doing more of that. And I think the more we think about it, the more we say, oh, we're just perfectionists. And yes, I totally, I've been working through a workbook in therapy. I am a perfectionist. And it's weird because I used to think you had to get A's in class and be super organized and, you know, bring an apple to the teacher to be a perfectionist. And that's not at all what it is. There are so many fears that develop perfection. The fear of perception as well. Being perceived a certain way. Like when I'm walking out here and I feel like people are perceiving me to just be a whacked out YouTuber. You know? I don't even know what that means, whacked out YouTuber. I'm pretty whacked out all the time. I love to have fun, love to laugh. But people perceive you to be a certain way, like me here with my camera vlogging. They're like, oh, he's trying to be a YouTuber, or is one, or some kind of influencer. But that's not at all what I'm looking to do. I just want to show up human. My whole thing is human speak. Speaking as humanly as possible to you, as real as possible, not trying to be the guy who knows everything, thinks he knows everything. Like one of the biggest things in my career too are people who do my job, right? I haven't met anybody like this yet where I work, but I know that they exist, are those uppity, look down on you, pretentious, try to sound very smart. I love this word my buddy used. He's like, because he's like, you know, I use very flowery language, trying to be like very, you know, poetic. And that's cool sometimes, but if you do that and at the same time are doing it to shame other people, I don't want anything to do with you. So the name of the game is not to be shaming people. It's to be encouraging people. It's to be making people feel like things are within reach, things are attainable. We all are work in progress. But there is so much more to be said for those of us who show up in service of others and encouraging. So that's my spiel for today. This camera's getting pretty misty. Woo. Anxiety, exposed, frustration in packaging, and not overthinking.